This is where the fun begins.
What's up, guys? My name's Tony, aka Star Wars Sith, and welcome to another episode of Sith Talk, where we talk Star Wars news, rumors, and coming soons. Today we have on the show Sam from the Absolute Sabers YouTube channel. How you doing, Sam?
Oh, dude, I'm fantastic, man. Thank you for having me on. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. No, I'm glad you were able to make it. So, tell us a little bit about your channel, what your channel focuses on, and where we can find you at.
So, basically, my channel, Absolute Sabers, focuses on just that, sabers, lightsabers. I originally had a channel way back in 2007. I used to review the old Master Replica Force FX sabers a long time ago. Life kind of took over a little bit. That went by the wayside. And then during, everything that kind of happened with the pandemic and whatnot, I kind of found myself kind of back into it. And I was blown away by the advancements in technology. So I decided to make a second channel, and here we are. The whole purpose of it is to basically find the best value for money sabers on the market, really. And to showcase them for everyone out there, because it can be a very expensive hobby. So you can find me on YouTube under Absolute Sabers, Instagram Absolute Sabers as well. We do have TikTok, we do have Facebook, but to be honest, I keep on forgetting about them. I'm such a content creator.
Awesome. All right, guys. So I'm going to put his information down in the description below. Be sure to check him out. So everyone that comes on the show, I ask them 3 questions. So are you ready?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes. So the first one is, what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Hands down, Empire Strikes Back.
Nice.
Hands down. And the only reason, it's funny because my father introduced me to Star Wars, and for some reason it was Empire that I seen first, even though we had the original trilogy on VHS on tape. I think he was just maybe watching Empire one evening, and I maybe just plonked myself down on the couch next to him, and that was really it. I remember the Hoth scene. I remember Vader coming in to the base on Hoth. Everything about the movie just completely captivated me, and it started all of this.
Nice.
As it usually does.
Yeah, so that's a lot of people's most favorite movie. It's always Empire, or it's my favorite movie, which is Revenge of the Sith. So that's the one for me that it's just like, it's like the chef's kiss. Like going into that movie, knowing how it's gonna end, but seeing it unfold was like beautiful, man.
Absolutely. I mean, if I had been introduced to Star Wars even 6 years later when Phantom Menace was released, Revenge would probably be my favorite as well. So it's probably my second favorite, actually, Revenge. So I can definitely appreciate where you're coming from.
Yeah, no, for sure. Good choices nonetheless. So next question, what's your favorite Star Wars show? You can only pick one, live action or animated, but just what's the number one?
Yo, there's no contest when it comes to this one. I do love The Mandalorian. I fell in love with Kenobi. Like, that show, I loved it so much. I know there was some. Yeah, I just did, man. And I think listening to Ewan at Celebration, obviously we'll get onto that later on, like you said earlier. But listening to him and Deborah and Hayden, Vivian, like the cast, listening to them about the journey from getting the call to pre-production all the way through production made me appreciate it even more. It may not have been perfect, but nothing ever is. But I fell in love with it. But hands down, my favorite show is Rebels. That is Rebels all day long. I love Rebels, bro. I love Rebels. Such a great show.
So for me, my favorite show, it was close between Clone Wars and Rebels. I'd say it'd be Rebels, but Clone Wars season 7, those last 4 episodes, kind of pushes it because it's more Revenge of the Sith. So I have a weakness for it. But before that came out, Rebels hands down. And you're going to be really jealous of me next month because there's this convention in Nashville, Tennessee. Very random. So it's a small Star Wars convention. It's getting bigger and bigger. But the guy there has the entire Rebels cast going to be there for a panel photo ops and autographs. So I'm probably gonna get my Rebels Funko Pops, all 5 of them signed. Like
Oh yes.
Kanan's gonna be there, Ezra, Sabine, Hera, and Zeb, all the voice actors.
Oh man.
So I'll be covering that. You'll see it on the channel, but
Oh,
man,
I
you'll
cannot
appreciate
wait to see
that.
that on the channel, dude. Honestly,
Yes.
that's a major flex right there. I so wish I was heading to Nashville, Tennessee for that, but
Yeah, man.
I'm
I
on the
was
other side of the
shocked.
pond.
Yeah, yeah. So, nah, yeah, Rebels, I love it, bro. I freaking love Rebels, and Ahsoka show is literally Rebels season 5, which
Oh
makes
yeah.
me so much more happier. And like, we're gonna talk about Ahsoka for sure, but that show is gonna like blow our minds.
I think that's going to take Star Wars to different heights, to new heights. That show.
It
But
is.
quickly jumping back to what you were saying about Clone Wars, though, the last season, the last 4 episodes, to have the parallels, to have it running side by side with
Yes.
Revenge. Like when that came out, I honestly, like the last episode, I legit cried,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah. When he found his saber.
yeah,
Yeah.
legit cried, and
Yeah.
it was during lockdown, I think, and
Yep.
you know, my mom was staying with us, and I was watching this at like I don't know 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and she was still awake, and I'm sitting there sobbing. And she was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, does he have no idea what this means?"
Yeah.
But
Oh
yeah, no, it was
man.
such. I mean, honestly, you're so right. It was so close between Clone Wars and Rebels for me too because of that last season. But
Yeah.
Rebels, there's always this feel good factor when I watch Rebels. You know,
Yep.
there's always this overpowering positive message with Rebels. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, Ahsoka was Rebels season 5, bro.
So
Oh yeah.
that second to last episode of Clone Wars, when I heard Hayden's voice and Samuel Jackson's voice, and like he was like, "Don't do it, Anakin," and you heard Hayden Christensen's voice, my
Yeah.
jaw dropped, and I was like, "Holy shit! Like, is this like really?" That was
So
so
good.
crazy how they did that. I didn't expect that at all, like
No,
at
neither did
all.
I. No, and it's absolutely fantastic the way that they did do that and the way that they amalgamated the live action into, you know, the animation and in that way, you know, and
Yeah,
had the parallel kind of running next to the movie and to have this other story, this whole story going on over here when for years we've been looking over here at what's happening in
yeah,
Revenge, you know, with
yep.
Maul and with Ahsoka, with Rex and the 332nd, and that last scene when he finds that saber in the snow. Oh man, like
Mm,
that was yo,
beautiful.
peak, dude, peak.
Yeah. So the last question is, who is your favorite Star Wars character?
Oh, that is a toughie.
Oh yeah.
That's a toughie. I'm always swung towards Obi-Wan
Nice.
because I'm Scottish, naturally, but that's bias.
Yeah.
Um, to be honest, like because of Rebels and because of what we're getting for a long time, it's been my girl.
Oh, Snips, Ahsoka, let's
It's been
go.
I love Ahsoka, dude. Like she everything, you know, not just her, but you know, Ashley Eckstein and the movements that she's created, you know, with her universe and other things, you know, and
Yeah.
I went to the Ahsoka kind of meet up at Celebration as well.
Hmm.
And and Ashley actually flew down past us,
Oh yeah.
and Chris, the nerd dad, you got a high five, so we're all like touching his hand by proxy, you know. Um, I just love the whole Ahsoka, and Rosario has came in and done such a wonderful job so far
She has, yep.
with the character, and she truly understands the character. But there's just something about Ahsoka. There's something about her story from this overconfident kind of Padawan, this smart aleck who doesn't always get it right, and you see her grow into not just the warrior, but into the woman, into the person. You
Yeah.
know, the wisdom comes with if you look at Ahsoka from Clone Wars and then look at Ahsoka um, at the end of Clone Wars and Rebels and live
Yeah.
action, the wisdom, the whole development of the character. I mean, it really has been Filoni's baby for well, nearly 20 years, really.
Yeah.
you know. So I love Ahsoka, but close second is going to be Kenobi because you know the Scotland connection.
Yeah, you must have loved Tales of the Jedi because
Oh, dude.
giving more Ahsoka in that, like more
Oh
depth
yeah.
and more to her story,
Oh yeah.
so beautiful.
That the shot where you actually see her at Padme's funeral on Naboo,
Oh, woo.
it tugged right there, bro. It
Yeah,
tugged. It really tugged, you know. And then
yeah,
to see her on that farm hiding, and then again the overriding message of hope and standing up for what you believe in. That's always what Ahsoka's about, and that's about what she does.
yeah,
And you see that on that episode, is that on that short as well, rather, with the Inquisitor and the villagers protecting them and whatnot. And I mean, the way that she went through that Inquisitor was just ridiculous,
woo.
right?
So badass, so cool.
But no, I mean, yes, Ahsoka Tano. I think it's really true what they say. Ahsoka lives in us all because she really does.
Yeah, and
She really does.
to experience Ashley doing that with the crowd, having them do that
Yeah.
chant. I missed it in London, but I caught it in Anaheim. So in Anaheim, I was like, "Oh my god, there's freaking Ashley with Matt Lancer and like 100 people dressed as Ahsoka."
Oh yeah.
So that energy and like the Ahsoka lives in all of us chant, I have that on video. Oh man, it's amazing to see that in person. It's unreal.
Bro, I have no idea how many Ahsokas there were in London. It seemed like every time you turned round, there was an Ahsoka there. Like
And they all looked freaking amazing. Did
they
you
were.
see the one that I think she was from like Italy? She was dressed like Ahsoka from the Mortis arc, where like the
Yeah,
evil took her over.
she was
Yeah,
killer, bro. She had like the veins going through her
yep,
makeup and
the
stuff. Oh, dude.
contacts and yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure I've got her on Instagram. I'm
yeah,
sure there's like that was another thing as well. Like after celebration, Instagram just went.
yep, yep,
And I'm like, who are all these people? Like, because you're liking all this stuff because you're seeing it, you're there. So the
yeah.
algorithm knows you're there and you're liking all this stuff. And all of a sudden you're following people, they're following you. It's just massive. It just went bang. But the cosplays were unbelievable.
Unbelievable for sure. So my favorite character, it usually fluctuates. Well, it's usually always Maul, as you can see. That's my
Mm,
guy right there.
yeah.
But the close second, third, it fluctuates between Anakin and Boba Fett. But
Mm,
Maul, he's my favorite just because like it started back in 98 when they dropped the trailer for Phantom Menace that dropped in 99. So
yeah.
when I saw that trailer, like, the year before, seeing Maul, I was like, who is that dude? He looks so cool. And then when the dual blade ignited back in 98, I'm like, they can do that? I never knew that they could do
Yeah.
that. I was shocked. So that started my interest in Maul, but Filoni enhanced it with Clone Wars, giving
Yeah.
Maul so much depth, so much backstory, and like Maul was just a freaking he just did whatever he wanted for himself. He didn't care about nobody. He was a savage. So that's why a big spot on my heart for Maul.
There's another thing that Clone Wars and Rebels is well done for that character who, in my opinion, we've had nowhere near enough of.
Nowhere.
Nowhere near
Nowhere near
enough,
enough.
to see him
Mm-mm.
showing up in Clone Wars and Rebels, and to show how he went from this almighty powerful Sith apprentice into this, you know, cunning old hermit kind of guy,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it just continued to be that master manipulator,
Yep.
with Ezra, the Ahsoka, and it's just that
Yeah.
character, dude. Like the development through the animated series. People need to realize how much the animated series have actually given us in terms of character development.
A
You know,
ton.
because Clone Wars and Rebels, don't get me wrong, like Maul was such a badass, like you said, with the Phantom Menace, and then obviously that moment in the theater, right, when
And
he brings
Solo.
out the double blade for the
Oh yeah,
first
yeah.
time, and then
Yep.
obviously Solo too. He's a badass as it is, but the animated series built on that and
Yep.
made him so much better, gave him so much more depth. It was again another character that I dearly love, and I completely agree with you. But we need more Maul. We need more Maul.
Exactly. Hopefully we do. Hopefully we do, man. I guess we'll see. But
Solo 2,
so
bro. It's happening.
I know, or even the Lando TV show that they said they were going to do years ago, but nothing because Lando show would be Solo 2. We would see
Yeah.
Maul with Kira
Yep.
training. Like you could see so much potential.
There's something there. There is something there, but they need to stop announcing things and then canceling them.
Yes, yes,
There's been
yes.
this big thing with the 3 announcements that were made at Celebration. And everyone's like, yeah, but they're going to cancel them. And it's like, I don't think they're going to do that when they're bringing these people out on stage. And
Yeah,
I think this is a little bit different. Um,
yeah.
but no, they need to stop doing that because that's like, there's so much good stuff that we could have. And you're, yeah, it's not fair on the fan base when you do that.
No, for sure. So one of the big things I wanted to talk about, obviously, Star Wars Celebration. So I know it was your first celebration.
Yep.
So tell me how you feel, your thoughts, what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy. Are you going to go to the next one?
You know what? It was so much more than I ever could have possibly imagined in my wildest dreams. I've
Yes.
been dreaming of going to a Star Wars celebration event for the longest time. And when they announced it last year for London, there was just no doubt in my mind whatsoever
Hmm.
that I was definitely going to be going. Um, I loved everything about it. I loved meeting up with people. I didn't see you.
I know, man. It's
5 days
crazy.
in London, bro. I didn't see you once.
So on the stream I just did, Cyberphonic hopped on and he was like, "Bro, I can't believe I didn't see you." And I'm like, "Yo, I'm literally gonna talk with Sam about that right now
Yeah,
on our stream." I ran into Chris, the nerd dad, twice, which is crazy, and
because
I
I was
saw
with Chris the whole time.
wild, and I saw nobody else. And then my two boys that I went with, I probably was by myself 80% of the time because you lose someone, you never find them. It
Yeah,
was just a zoo the whole time, and I didn't think it was going to
yeah.
be that bad. I figured we would be hanging out the whole time like crazy, bro.
Mhm.
Not once did we see each other. It's a shame, bro.
Yeah, it was a massive shame. It was a massive shame. But I mean, overall, loved the event. Like, I mean, getting to meet everyone who I've been speaking to for a long time, streaming with for a long time, collabing
Yeah.
with for a long time, was just absolutely fantastic. Jesse and Kyberphonic, he came and stayed here. He flew into Glasgow a couple of days beforehand, and we went up to the north of Scotland and picked up Ryan Black Star Sabers, and then we flew down to London. Um, there's myself, my other half, Jesse, and Ryan, and it was just a fantastic, 5 days with those people. But the actual event itself blew me away.
Yep.
The atmosphere, the cosplays, the exhibitions, I would say the panels. I only got one, but I digress. Just everything, man. Like just walking around, seeing all this crazy cool stuff from the new Hasbro toys to the
Yeah.
independent vendors and retailers and prop shop with the lightsabers and dresses and stuff like. It was just wonderful. I enjoyed every single bit of it. I just wish there had been more because quite a few people had told me that Anaheim was a much larger show.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
It was for sure.
so I just wish there had been a little bit more. But I mean, the XL is probably the biggest exhibition centre in the UK. So there's no anywhere else that you can actually have it in the UK. So for the most part, it was absolutely fantastic. Done the Saber meetup on the Friday evening, which was great.
Hmm.
I'm still looking for those photographs. If anyone knows where they are, I believe they're on Galaxy's Edge Discord.
Oh.
But I still can't find them anywhere between Facebook or online. So if anyone knows where they are, please hit me up because I'd love a copy of those photographs. Yeah, but just hanging out, bro. Like you said, hanging out with people, walking around, panels, live stage, spending a lot of money, and I mean a lot of
Oh,
money.
yes.
A lot of money. Like first day we went in and got pizza, and it was like $30, and I'm like, how much?
Damn.
So I think that set the tone quite early on the Friday morning.
Yeah.
Um, But no, I just loved it. And in terms of what I hated about it the most was probably my feet were dead after like
Oh, yeah.
Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, no, you have to wear super comfy shoes. Like you can't be that. Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Oh yeah.
crazy.
No, it's not built for DCs. I wore DCs all
Oh
4 days,
no, no,
man.
no, no.
Yeah.
You need some running shoes, super
Yeah,
brand
man.
new. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah, no, I'll be doing Skechers next time for sure. And the amount of people I see in Skechers, dog, like, that seems to be the shoe to wear for these conventions. So um but no, it was fantastic. We done a photo op with Hayden,
Oh,
which was great. It was actually for my other half's birthday because it was her birthday a few
yeah.
days after we got back, and she is dead shy, bless her, and she pushed me in first, and so I was like, "Oh, Hayden, nice to meet you. Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you for." By the way, it's my partner's birthday, and I'll actually show you. I'll send you the photograph. You can see it on Instagram. He
Uh-huh.
actually puts his arm around my partner and leans more towards her, so that if we
Yeah.
ever broke up, she can just
She could cut it out. Oh, wow. That's
like
hilarious.
that's the intention, right? But
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
that was awesome. That was absolutely amazing, and just getting to see everyone and so much cool stuff and celebrating, no pun intended, but celebrating this thing that we all love, this passion that we share. It was just wonderful, and that I'm going to be in Tokyo.
Yes. Yes, yes. And for
It's
sure, we're gonna
already
see
working
each
out.
other there like 100%, like
Oh
100%,
yeah.
bro. No ifs, ands, or but, bro.
Well, that one I'm probably going to be traveling solo.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we're going to be hanging out because I can't do leaving me alone in Tokyo is not a good idea. It's very dangerous.
Why?
So because I'll probably never come home.
Oh, okay, okay. Have you ever been
Um,
before or no?
I've been to Osaka before,
Oh, okay, okay.
for a couple of days flying to New Zealand years ago to see family. I was just a child, but I remember it very, very
Mhm.
well. The food, the people. I just fell in love with Japan at like 10 years old,
Oh,
um,
okay.
and I've always wanted to go back since. So never been to Tokyo, and I just when they said Japan, I said please be Tokyo, and it's pretty much just outside Tokyo.
Yep, yep, yep,
So yeah, it's on like Donkey Kong, man. It's 3 days the convention. I'm going to go out for a week,
yep.
maybe 10 days if I can squeeze it. Um,
Yeah, I'm trying to do 10 days, like 10 full days over there.
I think
Yeah.
10 days is going to be maybe a little bit better kind of
Yep.
tourist wise.
Yeah, you don't gotta
But
rush anything.
it's interesting though that they didn't have it in Anaheim because it's 20 years since Revenge, 10 years since TFA, and they're opening that new Lucasfilm museum right in 2025.
Are they? Maybe they are, but like they just did Anaheim, so like my guess would have been it would have been Orlando
Yeah,
next because Orlando's due because it hasn't been in Orlando since Galaxy's Edge, since the Star Cruiser, or even Chicago again. Chicago probably
yeah.
was my favorite out of the four that I've been to. Chicago, the convention center was so massive, so much space, and it was 5 days when we did Chicago, which is crazy. Like you
Ooh,
get spoiled being there that long.
yeah,
So yeah, it's super weird. But for Japan, Chris was telling me too, he's probably gonna be going solo too. So
yeah,
I was telling him, and the same for you. Once I figure out the hotels, I want to try to get everyone I know, hopefully, like in at least the same hotel. That way,
yeah,
no matter what, we all come back to the same spot, and then
yeah.
we could eventually meet up. So
No, that would be good. That'd be great.
yeah,
I've been checking it out already, having a little look around. You can't really book anything, but
not yet. Yeah.
um, pardon me. It's going to be good. It's going to be interesting. The flights don't seem too expensive from what I've looked at so far.
Maybe from you over there, from here in the States, bro, crazy expensive.
I mean, I
And
don't know
like,
why, man. Like y'all are closer. Like I can do £1,200, and that's stopping in Dubai and Singapore.
how many hours is it from you over there to Japan?
Direct to Japan, as I've done that before. So to from London to Kansai was 13 hours.
Oh, so from here, like for me in Florida to Tokyo, it's like 18, 19 hours.
Oh wow!
Yeah, man, it's a trip.
I
It's a
thought y'all were
trip.
closer. Oh no, you're the other side. You're East Coast, right?
Yeah, I'm on the east,
Yeah,
so we got to go
yeah,
across the whole US,
yeah.
over the water to over there. So, yeah, man.
That'll be worth it though, dude. That'll be worth it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I've already been planning it like crazy. I might actually drop another video next week because I did some more research on the convention center because I just found out that Tokyo Comic Con that they have pretty much every year is at the same spot. So I watched
Oh
a bunch
wow.
of videos of it to get an idea of what it looks like in the setup,
And how
and
to set it up, yeah.
it's huge. So I'll be covering that soon in a video, but I think at the end of November or December of this year, we could start booking hotels. So once I
Yeah.
confirm that, I'm gonna let you guys know first so we could all book. Then I'm gonna drop a
Yeah.
video so everyone can know, hey, you could book. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm probably gonna start putting money aside probably around about August time. Um once I've financially recovered from London.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, no, I've kind of worked it all out, you know, and whatnot. And a friend of mine as well. She's a travel agent, so I can maybe try and get a deal on a flight or something. But
Oh nice.
it's not guaranteed, but I can certainly try. Don't ask, don't get, you know. But
Yeah.
no, yeah, I'm kind of planning it out. So yeah, I'm down for the hotel. You let us know, and
No, of course, for
we'll
sure.
do it, man. We'll do it. Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
I'm so glad you loved your first celebration. So for me going there, it was my fourth and my first like international.
Yeah,
And like you said, the environment, the people, the energy, the cosplay, it's all the same. It's literally like no matter where it is in the world, it's the same thing. Like everyone loves the one main thing, no
same
matter
energy.
yeah, it's the same
Yeah,
exact energy. I felt like at home. I felt like I was Orlando 2017. It felt like Chicago 2019.
yeah,
It felt like Anaheim 2022. Same thing. Like that vibe, that energy, and I freaking loved it. Now, the only thing that Excel sucks at is their layout because, like, having the exhibit floor on two sides, when you
yep,
had the giant queue hall where everybody lined up, like, you could have used that and had everything in one spot there.
yep,
And the way they flowed traffic out of panels was trash because in Anaheim, when you got out of the big panel, they spit you outside and you had to come back in instead of
yep,
spitting 4,500 people in. And like when you would get your posters and stuff, they gave it to you as you walked out. They didn't send you across the whole center to go get your poster and
yeah.
causing even more traffic like in that one area. So other than that, which is not the end of the world, you just kind of learned, okay, from 12 to 1, don't be in the main aisle because the panel gets out and you're not going to walk.
Oh, dude, we got caught out with that on the Saturday. We kind of got held in this kind of crush at
Terrible.
one point, you know,
Yep.
and you know, my other half was getting quite nervous, and I'm like, right, just hold on to me. We're going to get out of this because this could turn quite dangerous quite quickly. And I have to
Yeah.
agree. I don't know if it's something that we're just used to in the UK because our convention centres are generally a lot smaller. We're
Yeah.
used to this kind of, you know, kind of crush kind of, you know, situation where
Uh huh.
if it's not managed correctly, it could go south very quickly.
Yeah.
So I think it would be the opposite for me or for us to come over to the likes of Chicago or you know Anaheim, Orlando, Tokyo, and to have this massive open space because it's typical in the UK of convention centres being on two sides and having
Really?
this central flow. You know,
That's
like
so weird.
it's so typical, bro. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
we were sat having food one night. I think it was Sunday night actually. We were sat
Mhm.
maybe around about it closed at 7. I think we were sat about 7:30. And Jesse turned to me and went, dude, there's still people flying out of here. And I looked up and it was just both sides. Because you know, remember where the food courts were and the seating
Yeah.
booths, right? Right in the
Uh huh.
middle. And it was both sides. And it was just like, you know, nose to tail people coming out. And 40 minutes later at like 8 o'clock, it was still the same. Just
Damn.
people flowing out. It just did not stop for like a good 2 hours. I couldn't, how many people were in that center?
A
You
lot,
know,
man.
there's a
I don't know if
lot, man.
yeah, I don't know if they released the like the official numbers. I gotta look to see because that'd be interesting to see. But it was a lot, man. A lot.
We're talking, I think, 300,000, I think, or thereabouts
Oh, for the over the 4 days.
over the four days, which wouldn't surprise me.
That's crazy,
It's a
man.
lot of people, man. A lot of people. When you think you can empty a 60,000 seater football stadium in 3 minutes,
Yeah.
and that place was going for 2 hours, people streaming out of it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, there was a lot of people in there, bro. And I don't know about you, but we got the con flu when we came back. We were dying for days. It
Oh,
was
so I surprisingly didn't. I think I'm so immune from always going to these. I built in like an immune like to it where it doesn't even mess with me. And I was shocked because like usually I'll get sick or something. I
yeah.
actually felt better when I got home, which was so weird.
Oh, dude, no, we were like the Wednesday we got back from London on the Tuesday. The Wednesday morning, woke up and I'm like, oh, I turned into Sheldon Cooper. I'm like, is this Forest Green or is this, like it was so bad. And then it lasted for like a week, and Jesse was here for nearly another week after we got back
Yeah.
from celebration and we'd planned to go and do stuff and I couldn't leave the house. I was like dead, I was
That
just like
sucks.
so I felt so bad, but at the same time, it's just one of these things that happens. Um, but overall, I love Celebration, man. I can't wait for Tokyo. Can't wait to meet up with everyone again. A little
Yeah.
bit, a little bit bummed it's not in the States, maybe Orlando in particular, because we already had
Yeah.
plans in place. But it was funny on the Monday morning when you're talking to people and then the whispers were going around like, "Oh, I heard it's
Yeah.
Japan."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
People
there
were
was,
talking about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
there was nothing the whole weekend, and all of a sudden Monday it was like, "Oh, it might be Japan." Like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah, some
So
people found out because one dude I met, he's like, yeah, that he found out like 4 or 5 hours ago. Like after the closing ceremony panel, he's like, yeah, I knew like 4 or 5 hours ago. So that is so crazy.
yeah,
And, and then 2027 for sure has to be a celebration. That's the 50 year of A New Hope. They're
oh yeah,
not
it's
gonna
got to be.
miss that
No,
year.
no,
But I'm kind of wondering, and it kind of stresses me out. But like, if 2026 is the year the Dave Filoni movie drops,
yeah,
they might do a celebration that year too to promote that movie. So that could mean 3 years in a row celebration, which I gotta start saving now for it.
that I
Like I want it because I want Dave to get a
oh,
celebration, but at the same time, what? Three in a row?
I honestly, I think. uh, I can't see them doing three in a row. Like the logistical operation to do two in a row must have been a nightmare. But to do three, so from doing Japan to the States to possibly Europe again,
So
then that would be nuts.
I
Like,
kind of think that too, but at the same time, I kind of think people in the States, the Americans, are pissed because like they had Anaheim and then it was London this year, so not everybody
yeah,
could go or wanted to go that far. And now 2025, which most people thought was Orlando, is Japan, which is even further.
yeah.
So that's what 3 years right there without it being in the States. They could do 2026 and 2027, both of them in the States back to back.
That would make sense. Do one
That would
Orlando
make
or
up,
Chicago, do one in
yeah,
Anaheim. Yeah, that would make
yeah.
complete sense.
Like
Yeah,
they could do Chicago for 2026 and then bring it home Orlando for the 50th because they did the 40th of A New Hope in Orlando.
that's
So
right.
why? Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, yeah. The possibilities are endless, and this is the thing. If they're doing three in a row, like
oh my god, bro.
bet your bottom dollar I'm going to try so hard to do three in a row. But like if it's two trips to the States and Japan, that's a very tall order. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
very very tall. Japan's definitely happening. If they do one a year after that, probably might skip that one depending on location.
yeah.
And then the year after that for the 50th.
That's
Yeah,
a
maybe.
must, man.
Yeah, I think that is a must. If you're a
That's a
Star
big
Wars
one.
fan, that's a must. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I mean, I doubt he'll show up, but I mean, there's always a chance that George Lucas could show up because he showed up in Orlando 2017 for the 40th.
Hmm.
So I mean,
I
the
mean,
maker, who
yeah,
knows?
man, the maker, like the man, the maker, the myth, the legend. I mean, yeah, it would be so fitting if he did. I think he has to for
Yeah, man.
such a big milestone in the franchise's history. I think he has to, and I think don't get me wrong, I think that Japan's going to be good. If they do one in, I said do sorry. If they do one, if they do one, it's a running joke. If they do one in 2026, again, I think it'll be good. But I think 2027, the 50th, that's going to be the celebration to kind of set the bar.
Yep.
I think, and then until the 60th, really.
Jesus, damn, yeah, right.
We're well in our 40s by then, bro.
So, what was your favorite announcement from London? What was the best thing trailer or a movie announcement? What was your the number one thing that you were like super hyped on?
Well, it's really funny because Friday, we got in and we went straight to the live stage. They were rehearsing stuff because it went live at like 1 p.m. I think,
Hmm.
and then I think around about 2 o'clock, um, because the Lucasfilm panel obviously was at 11 that morning.
Yeah.
Um, Round about 2 o'clock, there was just no announcement. They just rolled it, and it was the Ahsoka trailer, right? And I was sat left
Uh,
of stage through by the American Candy stall,
uh-huh.
if you remember what that was,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right in front of the Videotron, right? And I'm just sitting there and I'm
Ooh.
watching this, and I'm like, I said to my partner, I'm like, I think this is the Ahsoka trailer. And she was like, no, 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 that panel's tomorrow. I'm like, no, no, I think this is the trailer. And sure enough, it was like, and the place just went nuts. Like
Ooh.
that, I mean, dude, I do a lot of soccer games, right? I'm a very passionate soccer person because I live in Scotland, right? We've got
Uh-huh.
two very big teams in Glasgow. I won't get into it, right? I'm used to loud noise, but this was something else. When this trailer
Oh
dropped,
yeah. Oh yeah.
dude, the place went and it was bonkers. It was absolutely insane. So that trailer for me, like that, I was so pissed that I didn't get a Ahsoka panel, but when I
Uh-huh.
seen the trailer on the Friday, that made the whole weekend fine for me.
Yeah, so that energy, ah, I honestly would have rather have watched the trailer where you were than sitting down. Because in Chicago 2019, my boy got into the Rise of Skywalker, well, the episode 9 panel, because we didn't know the name. He got into
Yeah,
the panel in the stage, but I watched it from the live stage. So I was kind of
yeah,
like you, standing surrounded by thousands of people, and the trailer comes on. And to see everyone's reaction from the trailer, getting the title of the movie because we didn't know it was called Rise of Skywalker,
yeah, yeah.
and then hearing Palpatine's laugh at the end, everybody went nuts and it was so loud. And I know that exact feeling and energy, and it is freaking amazing to be part of that, like with thousands of people seeing it for the first time. That's something that's like unmatched.
Oh, it was so good. Like the reaction, the whole crowd, just like I said, they went nuts. And you know exactly what I'm talking about if you were in the same position I was in for episode nine's announcement. Like
Yeah.
that. I got goosebumps, dude. Like I really got goosebumps. And
Yep.
that just set the tone of the whole weekend for me. Like I've seen the Ahsoka trailer. This is awesome. Let's have a great weekend. You know.
Yeah.
So that for me, best trailer. Loved that. Like did not expect to see it at all. Got it on the Friday. Loved it. The favorite announcement's a really difficult one. I'm really intrigued with this new Daisy Ridley project.
Mm-hmm.
Really intrigued by it because let's be honest, right? And I enjoy the sequels. I thought The Force Awakens, as much as it probably is a reboot, right,
Mm-hmm.
of A New Hope, I think we can all
Yeah.
agree
Yeah.
on that in
Yep.
certain ways. It was a very enjoyable movie. The
Yeah.
characters were enjoyable. The plotline was enjoyable. A new villain. It was great. The Last Jedi for me, when I seen it in theaters, I didn't feel like I was watching Star Wars,
Uh-huh.
right? And I've spoken to a lot of people about this over the years, and they were exactly the same. But I did get to attend the villains panel with Andy Serkis and Ian McDermott and Gwendolyn Christie,
Yeah.
and listening to them talking about the whole project in a different way has
Uh-huh.
made me look at that particular movie differently. And it has, don't get me wrong, it has grown on me slowly and steadily over the years. But I just have a bit of a new appreciation for that particular movie as a standalone rather than anything else. Obviously, we know what happened with Rise of Skywalker, with the way the whole project was. It was a bit of a mess. JJ
Yeah.
came back in, and in my opinion, JJ done, given the time frame that he had, not just to produce it, but to also pretty much write the entire thing
Yeah.
as well. With who was the co-writer again? I forget his name.
Oh, I forget. I know who you're talking about, but I forgot his name too.
They
Because it
had like
changed a couple times.
exactly that's why the whole thing was in such a mess.
Yeah.
So they had like a number of weeks, I believe it was, to basically write this entire
Yeah.
ending to this trilogy. I thought they did pretty well with it
Hmm.
at the time. Obviously, you'll remember obviously the episode 9 trailer dropping, with Ian McDermott coming on stage and everything, roll it again,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That laugh and seeing the Death Star, it was nostalgic. It was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, like
Yeah.
what, he's
Yep.
alive, and it technically makes perfect sense. But when we've got the likes of Mando going into certain things with cloning and other branching off into other things,
Hmm.
it's all kind of making more sense now, right? But, and this is the point I'm trying to make, they dropped the ball a little bit with that trilogy because there clearly was no plan to it. And I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be, any way. Like there clearly was no
No.
plan
Yeah.
with the trilogy. It was
That's
like,
just the
okay,
truth. Yeah.
let's see what happens, right?
Yep.
The Daisy Ridley announcement, for me, there's clearly a plan. There's clearly a plan. Otherwise, they cannot risk making the same mistakes twice, right?
Hopefully.
Well,
Hope
hopefully.
I'm trying to stay positive because, like, supposedly that movie was the Damon Lindelof movie that he had written, right? But like, maybe a week before Celebration, he like bailed out of the project or he left the project. So
Right.
supposedly that movie that he had two different leads, and Ray was supposed to be in it like as a cameo or something like that.
Yeah.
Now this Ray movie might be more of like for her instead of that. So
Yeah.
they're actually writing it now. So who knows? I mean, I'm gonna stay positive. I'm still gonna check it out, of course, but I hope, like you said, I hope they have a plan and they learn from their mistakes.
The way that I see it, right, when you look at again, the prequels were the same, right?
Yeah,
The negative press that the prequels got back in the day was
so bad.
ridiculous. It was so bad, right? And you listen to the love that Hayden got in particular when he was at Celebration,
Woo.
not just this year, but last year. I watched it all live on YouTube last year. Like you listen to that and you watch. I mean, a newfound appreciation, right?
Yeah,
A little bit different. Lucas had a plan with that trilogy. There was no plan with this trilogy. It worked out for me personally. It worked out 75% in the end. But for Daisy to come back, there has to be some sort of assurances regarding plot line and script. Otherwise, I don't think that she would put herself in that position again. So I
yeah,
think there is a very clear and concise plan. Whether Lindelof's script or overall story has been adapted or something's been borrowed from it and they're building upon it, we don't know. But I definitely think that there has to be some sort of overall plan that Ridley's gone, you know what, I like this, I'm on board, I'm in.
yeah.
So really excited by that one because we don't really know, obviously we don't know what happens after 9, we can assume, but this one having this standalone movie, technically is it an episode 10? Probably, um, to tie everything up and leave everything in balance as such,
Yeah.
is a very exciting prospect. But then obviously we had the announcements of the movie about the first Jedi.
Yeah, and I didn't realize who that dude was, the director. He directed the movie Logan, which Logan was freaking badass. So
Yep.
if it's like that, but with Jedi's before the Old Republic, let's
Yep.
go. Let's
Absolutely,
go.
man. Let's go. Let's go. I mean
Yeah.
that announcement, because when we see, you were at the Lucasfilm panel, right?
Yep. Yep.
So when they had the timeline, then all of a sudden they expanded on it
Yeah.
before and after. You're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
whoa, wait a
Yep.
minute here.
Yep.
What's going on?
Yep.
That storyline, that potential really intrigues me because I think it's something that definitely needs to be told. At the same time, then you've got the Filoni movie, the Mandoverse movie.
Oh, I cannot wait.
I think that one excites me the most. The Daisy Ridley one for me is definitely up there, right? Because I just love the Skywalker saga and I love any continuation or any kind of more with that. But that one in particular, dog, I'm with you. That one for me, that's going to be one hell of a movie.
So for Filoni's movie, I'm already gonna see it at least 10 times in theaters because I'm trying to help him hit a billion quick, right? this movie's gonna be crazy. It's Filoni. It's probably literally gonna be Ahsoka, the Rebels crew, Mando, maybe Grogu's older by then,
Yeah,
Thrawn, fighting Thrawn. Luke's probably gonna pop in. Like it's
yeah,
gonna be. They might even do like Han and Leia CGI de-aged hopping in because they're part of that heir to the Empire story. Like all of
yeah.
them are. So that
Jason
movie,
Sindula,
yeah, we're gonna get him in Ahsoka. So
dude.
they didn't show him in the trailer, but you know
No.
he's in the show for sure. You know that, right? So at
Yep.
Anaheim, they gave us a little Ahsoka tease, and one of the scenes we saw in like the little montage they gave us, you saw like a child's hand trying to make rocks move while they were
Yep.
on a ship trying to use the Force. And
Yep.
then there was a Lego leak recently, and Jason Sindula is one of the Legos.
It's funny that you talk about the that Ahsoka panel. Some I don't know how they done it, right? Because we were stood in line for the Hayden photo op. Someone live streamed that entire panel onto Instagram.
Oh, really?
I have
The
no idea how they done it. So
wow.
we seen the trailer. Okay, it was like maybe two-thirds cut off, but you could see parts of the screen.
Yeah.
And so you've seen obviously other things.
Yeah.
I won't spoil anything for anyone.
For which trailer are you talking about?
The
The
Ahsoka one,
oh
the
the
extended one.
oh from Saturday.
Yeah,
Oh, that I screamed at two things that happened. Seeing Thrawn up front, which I mean that's kind of out there clearly,
yeah.
and seeing something Sabine grabbed and used from
Oh yeah.
someone else.
Oh yeah.
I was like, yo, that's and then
Yep.
oh my god.
Yep. Yep. And you know what? Being for me being that guy, I was
Yeah,
like, that looks a little different. Okay, sweet. Let's see where they're gonna go with this.
yeah.
But no, dude, like that. Oh, like the Ahsoka series, bro. Like,
We're not ready for it, man. It's gonna blow
oh,
us away, and like we're we're gonna be impressed just by having the Rebels crew live action Thrawn, but like Hayden Christensen's confirmed in the show,
yep,
so we might get him a couple times in there. And I swear I'm gonna be crying on my reaction videos because like if it's like flashbacks to Clone Wars, or if it's him as a Force ghost with Ahsoka saying, "Hey, I redeemed myself," something like
yeah.
deep like that. Man, we're in for a wild ride.
Honestly, bro, like one thing I read was that the first half, so the first four episodes of Ahsoka is
Yep.
set kind of Rebels timeline.
Before the epilogue.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the second half is kind of set Mandoverse
Yep. Yep.
time, right? So the possibilities, and the lightsabers as well, like being orange and confirmed as orange, like
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
two, what they're calling is Dark
Dark
Jedi.
Jedi's. Yep. Yep.
Like the whole everything, dude. Like, oh, man, it's gonna be so good. And I tell you what, every time I come home and I kick on Disney Plus, I watch the Ahsoka trailer just
Yeah.
automatically because it's there. It's front and center on UK Disney Plus. You go down a couple lines to stuff, and it's coming soon. The first thing, Ahsoka. Like
Yeah.
they are pushing this show so good, you know. It's going to be great. It's going to be really interesting to see where they take the show,
Yeah.
right? Because they almost seem to have maybe left it slightly open ended because Rosario was talking about a season two, potential season two.
Yeah. But Filoni's gonna be busy with that movie. Like the movie will be season two,
Yeah,
kind of.
potentially, unless it's already written and they just want to see how it performs.
That too. I'll take it because that's that. All that means is Rebels season 6, and
Yep,
keep it going.
yep, absolutely, man. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And before that, you're gonna get Mando season 4.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
As well. So we're in peak Star Wars time, Tony. We're in peak Star Wars time. And I say this often when I do the after shows on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, right? There's some pretty passionate fans out there. We can both agree on that. But we're getting so much Star Wars content. We've never had this much Star Wars content ever,
Ever. Ever.
ever, right? So you even think like you go back to 2012
Oh
when
God, the dark
Lucas,
times.
yeah, right, when Lucasfilm was like, I mean, I remember like sitting in my ex-girlfriend's house and I'm just opened the news app and I'm like, Disney's acquired Lucasfilm. Oh snap! You know what this means? Because they want to make money.
Yeah.
So we're getting more Star Wars. And then all of a
Yep.
sudden it was announcement. 10 years later, look at what we've got. We've got 3 seasons of The Mandalorian. What an awesome show. We've had another season of Clone Wars. We've had Book of Boba Fett, which I enjoyed. Some things
Yeah.
may have been misplaced in there, okay, but again, Boba Fett, great character.
Yeah.
Loved seeing that whole arc of him with the Tuscans. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. That was awesome.
So good. Like we've got Solo and a sequel trilogy and Rogue One. Dude,
Rogue
Rogue
One.
One, man. Rogue One.
So Rogue One has, for me, the best Vader scene ever.
Agreed.
Yeah. Like
Hands
that,
down agreed.
that and how it goes to Carrie Fisher to Leia and starts A New Hope. It's like it's one big movie. Like, oh, that was beautiful.
Basically the prologue for A New Hope.
Yeah.
Which is so, I mean, you might get where I'm coming from when I say this. I was sat in, it was so funny, dude. I was at a Korn gig in Glasgow and it finished at 11 p.m. and I had tickets for the premiere at midnight. So I hot-footed it from the Hydro, which is the big place in Glasgow for all the gigs and concerts, into the city centre, to the theatre. And I'm like, dude, I was stinking, I was drunk, like whoever sat next to me that night in the theater, I feel so sorry for them, right? But from the opening scene, it made me feel like I was watching Star Wars.
100%.
The first scene, it was just so nostalgic, and it was almost like a love letter to Star Wars, that movie. And it just made me feel like I was a kid again, sat in the living room watching Empire with my dad. Probably my second favorite Star Wars movie. Probably my favorite piece of Star Wars that isn't main trilogy or main storyline.
Oh yeah, for
but
sure.
It technically is, because it obviously leads into
it really is. Yeah.
But it's just, what a wonderful movie. And the getting Vader again after so long, the hype, like, remember the hype?
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. And the trailers and stuff, like freaking Darth Vader, like
the back the tank scenes and the end scene with that hallway scene, dude, that was just straight up savagery.
So I remember seeing into the theaters, and when that happened, I sat up in my seat to the edge of my seat in the theater. My jaw dropped, and it stayed down the whole time because I was in shock and didn't expect that at all. That was such an amazing feeling to be that surprised and happy and satisfied in that moment.
Yeah, and just like, I'm exactly the same. Like, remembering, I probably sobered up a little bit at that point.
Oh yeah.
But like, I just remember that whole end sequence, with Vader's prepare a boarding party. You're like, well, wait a minute, he's going to that ship, and then the dark hallway, the creaking metal, and all of a sudden that iconic ignition. I mean, I hate that word, right? But it's iconic now, that ignition. And then all of a sudden, the madness that ensues, and you just see Vader, like, it was like Vader we seen in Kenobi, like peak Vader, which is kind of strange because he maybe wasn't all that in A New Hope, but at the same time he was. So it was so good. Like, you can't take anything away from that movie. Just wonderful.
No, for sure, for sure. So I got 2 quick articles we're gonna take a look at. So
Sweet.
From the Mando finale, they destroyed a major Jedi relic. How did you feel about them crushing the Darksaber, bro?
It's a total misdirect, bro. That's getting fixed.
Okay, that's why I'm holding out hope and not judging it and harping on it, because I'm like, okay, season 4, either Bo rebuilds it, maybe they save it for the little guy Grogu, and you see him in the backyard building it or something. So if they don't rebuild it, then I'll be more angry in the future.
There's a complete theory that the Mandalorian obviously is not Din Djarin. It's Din Grogu, right?
Yeah.
You can see in that photo there, right? About nearly halfway up that hill, there's a little spot of blue.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
that's going to be the crystal, right? And you did see that kind of flashing and emanating through. If you go back and watch it, you did see that, right?
Oh, okay.
So that crystal is coming out. That is going to go into some sort of weapon for Grogu.
Oh.
He's going to wield that. He has the Force. Like, it is, in my opinion, much better off in Grogu's hand than in anyone else's.
So you think the dark saber crystal, which should be like a unique kyber crystal, is gonna go to Grogu into a custom built saber, like maybe built by you, because that's what you do, right?
I install sabers from time to time. It's something I'm getting better at. I'm definitely nowhere near the likes of Ryan from Black Star,
Yeah, yeah.
Cal, KR, Saber Dave from Padawan. These are the people who taught me. Jeremy from Solo Sabers. Jeremy, wow, I mean, the guy is a machine. He just installs. Jonathan from Sabers Forever. These types of people who
Nice.
do these wonderful, wonderful works of art. You know, if you need something custom installed, definitely check those people out because they are wonderful people. They are such artists and so skilled at what they do. I'll install stuff for myself and I'll install some stuff to sell from time to time if I'm satisfied it's at a high enough standard. But
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
most part, I'll stick to reviewing and doing after shows and you know moving myself out of my own home because this collection is getting far too big.
No, for
Um,
sure, for sure.
but in my opinion, dude, I think that's what's going to happen. Honestly, I think it's primed for it. Either that or it gets repaired into a new style hilt. But I think that's maybe what's going to happen. I think that's what's going to happen.
That'd be kind of cool because then maybe we'll get some lore and some backstory to where this kyber crystal came from. Why is it that you have to connect with the saber to truly wield it? Because Din clearly couldn't wield it, but Bo and Sabine, like they were able to wield it. Even freaking Maul was wielding it like it was nothing. So
Yeah.
like
Well, I mean, you go back to the mythology of it. Tar Vizsla obviously was with Paz
the
Vizsla was
first,
a
the first,
descendant,
yeah, Mando.
the first Mando's kind of Jedi. Obviously, we have his son. That's another potential because he technically is an heir to the dark saber.
Oh yeah,
So there's another potential where
they could play with that.
the Mandalorian actually potentially could be Paz Vizsla's son, which is Jimmy Kimmel's nephew in real life. FYI.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yep.
so there's so many things that they could do with this. Personally, it didn't bother me too much. They are either A, going to repair it, or B, make it into something else. Like, let's be honest, Grogu is a complete cash cow, and the dark saber has also been a complete cash cow, right?
Yep.
You
Yep.
see the amount of dark sabers that are not just sold by Disney and Hasbro, but on the custom market as well. I mean, I've got
Oh
one sat
yeah.
over here, I've got another one on the way. Like, they're not going to get rid of any of that. Anything that's making them money, it's not going to go anywhere,
Yeah.
right? Let's
Yeah,
be
that makes
honest about
sense.
that. So that didn't bother me too much. Um, I mean, look at that. Look at Gideon's armor and his helmet, dude. Like,
Yo. So one thing I wanted, and me being selfish because of Maul, I wanted some sort of Darth Maul tie-in between Moff's helmet, the armor's helmet. I wanted them to come out to like be loyal to Maul. Kind of like how Christopher Lloyd in that one episode was like, Dooku was right, and how he was
yeah,
like loyal to Dooku. I wanted something like that. Just name drop Maul. Like use his name at least if you won't use his image.
yeah. I mean, Dooku got name dropped a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Which
Bad
again is
Batch too. In Bad Batch, they named Jock Dooku. They went to his castle.
yeah, yeah. They're name dropping him a hell of a lot. But then again, they have got the Jedi Dooku saber now,
At Galaxy's Edge, yeah.
which Chris and our friend Elvis are apparently. I asked him a while ago, could you, if I give you some cash when you go to the May 4th celebration in Anaheim, could you pick one up for me? And
Yeah.
apparently they've devised this plan that they're not going to actually let me pay for it, but we'll see about
That's
that.
awesome. That's awesome.
Um, so they're fantastic friends. Like I'm so lucky and blessed to have some amazing friends in this community. But they've got that now. They've got all the kind of legacy stuff at the parks, and they're now starting to actually ship these things out as well. So now that we're
Yeah.
post COVID,
Yeah.
um, UK Disney store online has a ton of the legacy sabers that come in a similar style box, but longer because it includes the blade.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
which we will be getting round to very shortly to review these because, okay, I do a lot of custom saber stuff, but you have to give them their place. They are the official licensed,
Yeah.
products, so we have to review them, even if the inner technology sucks. I digress. But yeah, I mean, Dooku was just named out a bunch of times, and yeah, you're right, man. Maul needs more love. Like Maul, I think they done him dirty with Solo.
No.
Great cameo, by the way, like fantastic cameo. But
So that
yeah,
cameo, when I saw Solo, I hadn't seen Clone Wars. So I didn't know Maul was alive. So when I saw Solo, I'm like, yo, this dude's dead. What?
yeah.
And then I Googled it and I'm like, oh, Filoni brought him back in Clone Wars. So then I went and binged Clone Wars and was hooked since then, which is crazy.
Oh, he's a wonderful character, and I really, really hope that whatever's going on with Ray Park, personally and professionally gets resolved because I
Yes,
really do think
please.
he's
Please.
a wonderful human being, a very skilled martial artist, a fantastic actor, and I think we need Ray Park back in the Star Wars fold, and we need Maul a little bit more. Yeah,
Yep. So the next one I got, it's been like a rumor a lot lately.
yep.
John Boyega coming back for the Daisy, the Ray movie. How do you feel about this?
I would love it. I would love it. And I'll tell you why I would love it. I felt that they'd done him so dirty
So
and
dirty.
so dirty, man. So, I mean, he was front and center, all the posters, like the marketing stuff. They done him so dirty, man. Whether it was intentional or not, with the whole scramash between the three films and the planning and whatnot, I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's obviously, if you're looking at the likes of, especially the rise of Skywalker, he obviously has some sort of force
Force.
connection,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think that famous line that has been memed so much, Ray,
Right.
Ray, I didn't get it right, and then you're like, so what was he going to tell her? Like we never
Yeah,
found that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I think that was on purpose. I'm all for Boyega coming back. I love John Boyega. He's such a talented actor. The first ever movie I seen him in was Attack the Block. You ever seen that one?
Oh yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
aliens in
yeah.
London. Oh,
Super.
dude, so good,
Yep, yep,
right?
yep.
So good. I hope he does, and I hope that the plot line and the storyline does Finn justice because I believe that he fully deserves it, and Daisy as well. I
Yeah.
think
No, for sure.
obviously as the main protagonist, I just think she did get done a little bit dirty as well because of the way everything was, and the way everything
Yeah.
happened with the sequel trilogy. So I hope that they get a movie that is worthy of their time and worthy of their talents because they're very, very talented actors, and they've given us a continuation of a story um, that we all love and we all share a passion for. So I'm all for it, bro. I'm all for it. All for it. Absolutely.
So me too, because like with Finn, that could have been one of the most badass stormtrooper turned Jedi
Yep.
story
Yep.
that we never got. Like that would have been so dope, so cool. Like they could have did so much with that and they did nothing. So hopefully this movie's 15 years after episode 9. Hopefully if he is in it, he's already a Jedi Knight
Yeah.
training and like come on, give us something good. So
Absolutely. And if you look at the Force Awakens as well, like okay,
he
he's got some
wielded the saber.
yeah, he's got some
Yeah.
combat training, fair enough,
Yeah.
right? Because he was a stormtrooper, right? But like, to wield the lightsaber, like he was very comfortable. Very,
Yeah.
very comfortable. And you look at the way he was doing that, obviously with Kylo and again at Maz's castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for it, bro. I'm all for it. To see him wielding his own lightsaber, to see him as a Jedi, and to be, Rey's either A, Rey's apprentice, or B, already a Jedi Knight. I would be so stoked because I feel he truly deserves it.
No, for sure he does. So that was the last thing that I have. What do you have coming up next on your channel that the people could look forward to?
Bro, I've got so much. I've got such a backlog just now of Saber reviews. It ain't even funny, right? So,
Yeah.
sat in this room just now, I have 7 Sabers to review.
Damn.
I have 4 coming in tomorrow
Oh,
from companies for review. And
yeah.
I've got a further 2 coming in the next kind of few weeks. So, it's all hands on deck for me, bro. Like, I'm coming in from work and, I'm getting stuff filmed, whether it's B roll, whether it's A roll, whatever it is. And right now, I'm just in this kind of groove of getting everything filmed. And then
Yeah.
hopefully this weekend, I can spend a day and just edit and see how far I get.
Yeah. Yeah.
So next up, we've got the Boone Kestis saber, which was the concept
Uh-huh.
saber from Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, nice.
I'll go and grab it. Actually, give me 2 little seconds. So this is the Boone Kestis. This was the
Oh.
focus. Come on now, focus. Is it going to focus? It's too dark. Wow. So anyway, this is the Boone Kestis hilt. So this was the concept art saber for Cal Kestis.
Uh-huh.
And there's some very, very nice influences here from kind of Vader to Kylo as well. Maul. It's very,
Nice.
very nice. It's supposed to have a wrap on it. I haven't done that yet because I kind of like it naked like this.
Yeah.
But so this is kind of coming up for us. The next review we're doing. Spoiler, I love it. And
Nice.
after that, we've got quite a few. There's a company here in the UK called Padawan Outpost, who dear, dear, dear friends of ours. Yeah, so Padawan Outpost, a massive saber company here in the UK. They set some stuff up to review, so we'll get that coming out. The Yoda, the Obi-Wan Episode 1 hilt as well. The Revan Jedi hilt, which is the one that looks more Sith-like with the claws on it.
Ooh, yeah.
That one too. And then we've got a really, really special one from our friend Matt, who goes by Batmando, which was a very, very special Christmas present, actually, because I've been having a bit of a hard time of it just before Christmas at the tail end of last year. And he purchased my unicorn saber,
Ooh.
the Mace Windu. We're trying to see if I can get this to focus. I don't know why my autofocus is not working. Come on. But
That's a bad boy right there.
this is a BMF right here, man.
BMF,
So
yep.
reviewing this one as well. This one's really nice. It's got a hidden crystal reveal back here as well. So you pop this off and slide it up. But yeah, so there's plenty coming up on the channel. That's just what we've got here. We've got more coming in. We're so blessed to have the partnerships that we have with the companies that we do have them with. And who we help promote their business, and they've helped build our platform and our channel. And like I said at the start of the podcast, the aim with this channel was really to help people find access to affordable lightsabers, because traditionally these things are quite expensive.
Yeah.
And with a little help from the Chinese market, which the quality has just increased exponentially over the last 2 years. It's more than achievable now for anyone who wants to start a lightsaber collection. They can totally do it. It doesn't have to cost the earth. So obviously that's what my channel is about. That's what I look to achieve. I set up this little network, this global network of companies around the world, where people can go to and buy in confidence and trust the companies and whatnot. And that was really, for me, mission accomplished. Part 1, mission accomplished. Part 2 for me now is really just is building on that and working with these companies who are fantastic companies and great people, and they work so hard for the customer. It's unbelievable. So that's kind of where we're at, with some great conversations with some really, really big companies at Celebration, which
Nice.
we're looking to shortly be doing hopefully be doing some testing on some new technologies for them. But nothing's concrete and written in stone yet.
Yeah.
But that was again the conversations that were happening. So it's just an exciting time. It's it's this project for the last 2.5, nearly 3 years. I'm in my third year of this now, and it's been overwhelming. It's been humbling. I've met some of the most wonderful people that I've ever met in my entire life. Had some amazing experiences, celebration, kind of really topping off that first chapter for me with the
Yeah.
channel. Just so wonderful, and to get on, to come on here and talk to you, a new friend about Star Wars and sabers
Yes.
and the mythology and just to really nerd out for an hour and a half, dog. Like
Yeah.
it's been absolutely wonderful. So thank you so much for the invitation. It's been
No,
a
of course, man. I appreciate you
it's been
coming
a
on.
great conversation, dude. I really appreciate it, and
Yeah.
I'll come back anytime, man, if you'll have me.
No, of course. No, yeah, for sure, for sure. So yeah, man, thank you again for your time. So that'll be it for this episode of Sith Talk. We'll see you guys next week.